Good evening, guys. Good morning, good evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. So today is Monday, 19th of June, 2023, and we are looking at the GBPUSD market as always. Let's start off with the higher time frame. So we're at the monthly chart at the moment. It's always good to see what's happening on the monthly chart. And as you can see, we're in this parallel channel that we drew last week, and we're in the parallel channel, and we sort of hit the top in June 21, went back down all the way to the bottom, went through the middle, and now we are approaching the middle of this channel. So that's something just to keep an eye on. So we're roughly around the 1.29 level, perhaps, yeah, 1.3 maybe. 1.29 level anyway. So as you remember last week, and last 2 weeks, I've been fairly bullish. I've been said, it's still going to pump, it's still going to go up. And that's exactly what's happened. As you can see, last week, the week that's gone, we had a nice little pump of around 1.92%. And the week before that, when I was bullish as well, we had a 1.08%. So we've had healthy pumps, 3 weeks of pumps in a row. And then now we're going to see what we're going to get on this week. So exciting as always. Let's see if we've got any liquidity swings under the weekly charts. We've got all the way up here, and so nothing, and then down here as well. So nothing too close at the moment. This is the liquidity swings by Lux Algo. I think it's quite useful, but it's more helpful on lower charts, to be honest. But it's good to see on higher charts as well, higher time frame charts. Okay, so that's that done. Let's see if we need to plot anything on here. Okay, let's reset the charts and let's get rid of the parallel channel, but we know it's there anyway. Okay, so we've got a new weekly here, right? The one that we've just about to create. Well, we've more or less created really here. But it is so close to the one that we already got there before. Oops, sorry. At 1.28291. But then again, we did sort of hit it, so why not? Let's add it on as well anyway, just for argument's sake, because we know this is the latest one. But as you can see, we've just got one above that we sort of hit, came back down, so why not? Let's throw another one on there as well. Template, weekly. Okay. So apart from that, above that we've got, which I will now draw, but we've got this weekly here, which is untapped. Because the moment we created it, went back down, we never really looked back. So I think if we are covering all these fair value gaps, it would make sense to come up here, because this is the sort of the next liquidity sort of area, next little range, as you can say. And this is on the weekly range, so these are big ranges. So definitely I think we need to log this one here. Okay. And then above that, I think we've got the monthly here. I mean, this weekly again is pretty close, and it's been hit quite a few times as well. And above that, we've got the monthly here, which I think, as you can see, after being created, we've sort of hit it twice and went back down. So I think these two are really high resistance levels. If we get there, remember, it's always crucial if we get there. Below this, I don't think there's any point of logging anything. We've got this weekly, some daily levels. We've got this weekly here as well. That's all the way at 1.25. But we've got the monthly right there as well. So I think potentially leave that because they're so close together anyway. Okay, let's go daily. Okay, and daily wise, nothing close by apart from those weekly that we've already logged. Just wanted to have a look for intraday in intraday trading. Again, as you can see from here to here, we've literally got nothing at all. I remember reading an article where someone said, oh, there's thin air between 1.28 to 1.30. I see what they mean, because there's just one massive wick. And that was back in April 2022. Yeah, so we literally don't have any weekly, any monthly, any daily level at all between here and there, unless we go back all the way to October 20. But we've got this to fill, and it makes sense not, for us to fill it really. Okay, so no real dailies above us, apart from those weekly, and just below here we've got this daily, so I think this is definitely worth logging, just for the fact that it is a nice little retracement level, to be honest, if we were to retrace back. Okay, and then we checked here, and there's literally no. We've got this daily here in the middle, but we've gone through it. And up here, it's literally from here to here, there is nothing at all. No daily, no monthly, no weekly. That's just crazy. And that is a solid, oops, almost 1.5% drop. And which, if we were to go back up, it would be 1.5% increase, which for pounds in GBPUSD is huge. I know for crypto it's not very much, but for a pound, for GBPUSD, for Forex, that is a huge, huge level. So yeah, so we've got that right above us. Okay. And let's have a look in terms of if we've got any, let's get rid of this for the time being. Okay. I need to add these on to time frame levels. Really should label them when we get around to it. Okay. So we've got the parallel channel that we've got just up there, which you could see in the middle of the two weeklies. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so just wanting to see if we've got any real trend line that we could potentially log. Okay. Oops. And this doesn't help very much, to be honest, because it's just straight line really. It's just not very helpful at all. The other one, so let's go for we've got the resistance we've found again, because we've had such a real low recently. Doesn't help at all, to be honest with you, because you just do that, and it doesn't help. Even if we do it to the highest here, maybe perhaps, yeah, that looks a lot better, because then that will time up nicely with the 1.30 amount that we've got on there. So just something to keep in attention of. But ideally, this would normally be at the highest point, which we are at the highest point. So it doesn't help very much, unfortunately. Okay. And let's go for our classic Fibonacci retracement. So from the recent bottom, well, we can't go from here because there's not much, because we are at the highest. So we'll have to go the other way around, which is our most recent high. Okay, so that was here, February 2021. Don't think, yeah, I think that's the most recent real high really. Let's go from here all the way down to here, and you can see we are coming in. We discussed this last week as well, that we were coming up to the 618 and a 66 level, right? And if we were to see, let's reset the chart a bit. You see it there. You can see if we add on a high time frame level, we're bang in the middle. We've got the weekly that we've sort of hit. We haven't really had a retracement, to be honest, and we've got this weekly above at the 1.30508. It seems more than likely that we will probably go up and take all this liquidity out and then come back down, although potentially one of the max pain would be to pump and reject just below the 130 to come back down, because that would, everyone will be looking for us to take it out. Just, sort of come over here, spend some time, and then come back down. So then the ones that are long will wait and get stopped out, and the ones that are looking to short won't get it, perhaps. So that could be one scenario. So we basically do something like this. We go up here, and then we sort of just and come back down again. That's one option. Okay, so and then if we add our parallel channel to this as well, we've got that coming up here as well. So think of it, it is coming up to a lot of higher resistance at the moment. We've got the 6.6 level, and what I've noticed is a few times when you do the retracement, it goes through the 6.6 level before coming back down or going back up. So it may well look like that we go through the 6.6 level and then come back down again from there. So we've got and then we did that speed resistance, as you can see, that's coming up right in the middle as well. So that's another one that we could add to our confluences. So we've got weekly level 6.6, the high time frame parallel channel. I don't know what else we can add on there, to be honest, apart from Elliott wave, which we'll go through a little bit as well. But at the moment, it's still looking bullish. It's still pumping. We've had 1, 2, oh, those days, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 days of absolute greens. We've had like 3 weeks of almost green, I believe. Yep, 1, 2, 3 weeks. These are, huge candles in week terms as well. Almost 2%. And then I don't see why not. Well, we can't get another push up, to be honest. I don't see any weakness in this at the moment. If we go by 4-hour chart, let's go down a bit. Okay, let's clear out some of these levels so we see a clearer picture. Let's go with that. Even on the 4-hour chart, you can just see this pump, bit of red candles, and then pump again. And it looks like we've started pumping again. But I would wait for at least London Open to see what it does before taking a trade. Because usually whatever Tokyo does, London seems to take it out one way or the other. Right, so trading plan for the next day, for Monday. So I'm not in a trade at the moment. I tend to close my trade on Friday evening before I before the weekend finishes. This leaves it so much easier. This makes the weekend go easier. So at the moment, what can we do? So we have. Let's turn that on. Yep. Okay. So if we were to get a retracement, if we were to get a retracement, this is on the daily level, and I don't see us really doing this, to be honest. Just no weakness at the moment unless we get some really big news about the dollar or the really bad news about the GBP. Coming back down here, sort of. I mean, if we were to come back down at most, it might be the 236 level. Sort of come back into this little range here, and then pump up again. But more importantly, Let's do 4 hours. Let's do 1 hour actually. Oops. That does not help. Okay. And leave that one. Let's get over that actually. Okay. So now we have the 1 hour charts. Let's have a look at that. So we've got some liquidity. So this is a Tokyo session one. The session one. So we've got Tokyo session, London session, New York. As you can see, whatever one session does, the other one takes it out most of the time. So Tokyo created this little range, London just took it out, New York took that out, Tokyo created a new range, London took that out, New York almost sort of took it out, didn't do much, but that was because of Friday, so you have to be wary of the time of the day, the week. By the way, tomorrow New York is closed. They have some Juneteenth holiday. So I don't expect it to be much activity, perhaps. At least in a New York session anyway. London session may well still pump. But obviously New York session I don't think there'll be any activity because New York's closed. Okay, so trading plan, what can we do? Let's turn on the high time frames. So at the moment we are just above the new weekly that we've created. And we're hovering around it, so we'd definitely like perhaps for some sort of free test of this weekly level, and which I think would be a decent long if we are still bullish. So look at that. Yeah, so we've got the 0.5 level at the bottom of this sort of liquidity level. So in the middle of, and you can see this level is perfect in the sense that it's support for these the 3 candles, and also resistance for these 2 candles, that there wasn't any close above it at the moment. We went through it, we retested it, went through it, went up again. So that could be potential. So if it comes down here, I'd say definitely worth a long, and your stop loss could be below this candle here, these candles here. So that could be one long for you. Apart from that, well, let's see if there's anything in terms of, we've got that open, so that is not really providing us anything. Let's go 30 minutes. So if we want to take a intraday short, easily over here, if it goes there, you could take a short potentially, but because we are so bullish at the moment, it may well be that we just keep pumping. So I would like to see a bit of retracement, to see whatever Tokyo does, to see London, how London performs. It may well be that usually on a Monday we go down, followed by up. If we were to go down, like we said, this one here is your best bet really, because yeah, I don't really see it going down below this, to be honest, because if it was to go below this, then we would be looking for a pretty healthy retracement, at least all the way up to down here, and I just don't see that happening at the moment, considering the way things are. And also, if we were to look at the price range, because I mean, retrace up to here is what, about 0.818%, and then if we were to go down all the way back down here, before we have that, that's almost a 1% retracement, and unless something major happens, I don't see that happening yet. So that's my opinion. I could be completely wrong. We could just come back all the way down, lose all this gain that we've made, and which on a weekly day, on a daily level, would still be a healthy retracement really. But considering things are, I don't think we're going down from 1.28 to 1.26 for us to go suddenly down that much. And what I would do is, if I was to look for a short, if I was to think that we were going to go down, I would expect us sort of break down this weekly. So expect us to do something like that if we were to go down. So say if we did this, come back down here, retest this weekly level, and then sort of go back down. And if we lose this level here, this daily at 1.27, we did something like that, then I expect us to go all the way down to at least this daily here at 1.26, because this was a very, very sharp pump. I'd expect it to lose all the way down. That's when I would be like, if we retest this weekly level, start heading down, then I'll be like, okay, we need to look for a short sort of come back down, really. Especially if we lose this daily level, because that would be literally be your last level of support. Because, however, if we just go straight back down here, so if we, for instance, instead of this, if we did this, so for example, if we start coming down from here, straight down, no retests, and then I expect us to go back up, to be honest, because that would just be a normal retracement for us to keep on going up and up and up and up. So that's my opinion anyway. Do let me know what you think. Okay, so that would literally be my planning really at the moment, is wait for some sort of a retracement at the moment, a little bit of retracement, wait for, let's see what Tokyo does first. It may well be just go sideways, and then see what London does, because if London starts taking this out and then starts to hold, then I expect it to go up. So if London does something like this, so say this is the Tokyo session, or what Tokyo does is this, and then London does this, retest this sort of range, starts holding up here, then I expect us to go up, as we have been. However, if London goes down, then we've got this level at 0.5 or 0.618, 0.618, 0.66 levels as your areas to take new longs. However, if we lose a 1.27, then we're looking for a short. So that's my trading plan. Okay, let's go with that. Let's hide that for the time being. Let's hide that. We don't need these for the time being. Okay, and so the other thing I was going to look at was, I just wanted to show you quickly liquidity swings. So this liquidity swing is pretty good at the lower levels really, if you want to do really, really quick scalps. So perhaps even better at 5 minutes really. Yeah, so you can see like that these, sometimes they're really good at 5 minutes, but sometimes not. There you go, 3 minutes, it's really, you can see it. But they are really quick trades, and you would have to be like in and out really, really quickly. For example, if you did take this trade here, when it came back down here, you could have a fairly nice profit up to there. We're potentially creating another liquidity level here, but if you took a short here, then you'll probably stop that, because you remember you don't want to keep your stop losses too far off as well, because this is a really, really low time frame trading. But sometimes it's really good, but this one clearly not today. Maybe because it's Sunday night and it hasn't really kicked in yet. But even on the higher time frame, it's still, sometimes it gives you the obvious to say, oh, there's high liquidity there. Well, yeah, we know that anyway, because it's top of the range, and this is what's happening. But it's still good to see where your support and sort of resistance levels are. It sort of helps with everything else that you've got going. So remember that daily we mentioned, so 1.27. If we start resisting, so if we start dropping, and start going below, that's your last liquidity level really. So sometimes that's good to keep an eye on. Okay, right, so final thing, elliott waves. So let's go on the daily charts. So let's hide all these things. And let's hide that as well. Okay. So if we were to see this as wave 1, so generally speaking, the wave 1 in a normal Elliott wave pattern is not the longest. Wave 3 is the most impulsive and most longest wave we've got. So let's get a Elliott wave impulse. If we were to take this impulse, theoretically we could do this like 1, 2, 3. Nope, it wouldn't work because 4, 5 does generally tend to go higher, but let's move this down. But not. But usually that would create a very, very high 5. So that's I don't think that's a very good one. And if we go for a different one, so let's do this 1, 2, 3. Again, this last wave that we've got, it's pumped so much that it's almost the level of same as wave 3. Usually wave 3 is the highest, so the only sort of conclusion we've got is if we were to start from there, it would be 1. Let's turn that off. But it should be 1, 2 here, and then 3. And even then, 3 would be looking to go much higher. 4 over here, and then 5 over there. See that one, sorry. So let's see that again. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, perhaps over here. Remember, 4 cannot go into the territory of wave 2. So the max it could go is about here. And then 5 would be all the way up there. Let's move this across a bit. It's probably a funny one, wouldn't it? So 5 would roughly be something about there, really. And if we were to make 3 longer than 1, as usual would be the case, so at least a 20% rise. So if we were to take from here, we would take 3 to be about, so we're going to make it a bit longer than that. And then remember, 4 cannot come into the territory of 2, so we'd have to be about here at least. And then 5, we could potentially, remember 5 usually does go above 3, but sometimes it can just taper out, so let's put it a little bit higher. Well, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Going to $1.48. I'll tell you what, this either interest rates will go really high in the UK, or something's going to happen really badly with the dollar. To hit $1.48, that's just crazy. Any high time frames? Let's have a look. Well, we haven't even gone far that high up to above 130. We haven't played it that high. Although, mind you, this coming down at number 4 about here on top of this is quite ironic, really, because it is, you could say, this is potentially the range of all this level here. So let me show you what I mean. So let's go with that for a second. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So if you look at it, right, from a really, really high time frame, so from here, you can see, let's do parallel channel. So here, here, so for argument's sake, if you look at this, right, we're only drawing it because just to show you what I mean, move stats. We're in this range here for the below level. So you can see resistance, resistance, and then we've gone through it. So this entire range is this below here. Above this, we are into this level here. So this, we could say, is potentially another range. Yeah, nice. Potentially another range really. But either way, you can see that this below level is one huge range, and above it we've got this huge range as well. Even over here, you can see resistance went through it, support went up, and again we turned that same level into resistance. Resistance went back down, resistance again went back up. So theoretically, we've gone above this range now. And then my point with the Elliott wave was that if we were to do that and then have wave 4 come down, works out perfectly exactly with this range. I hadn't even drawn yet. So who knows? If we keep going up and 3 sort of clears all of this level, it should be perfect. Make sense as well. We clear all of that, then have a massive, come back down all the way here and go up there to complete the 5th wave. But yeah, just some ideas. Remember, the Elliott wave is long term as well. You can have it really short term as well, but just a long term idea. See how it goes. I might leave that on there just to see how that goes. Okay, so okay, and yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't think so. In terms of, let's have a look at market news. I believe we have some interesting market news this week. Okay. Okay. Right. So, okay, so if we have a look at this, we've got the economic calendar. So this week, the 2-weekly level. So we've got nothing for the US on Monday because the US is closed. Tuesday, we've got US, nothing much really, just building permits, etc. We've got the US 5-year Treasury Gilt auction. That might give you what's going to happen. And then Wednesday, we've got the big news of CPI, month-on-month, CPI year-on-year, RPI for the month of May, basically all the inflation data for the UK. So that'll be interesting to see if it's come back down or if it's gone up. Barring the fact that if it's suddenly, we've gone from 10.1 to like, I don't know, 6% or something, we should get a pump on the, we should get a increase in the UK interest rate. So I believe that is happening on Wednesday. So we've got Wednesday, we've got the car register, CPI, and then I believe Thursday we should have the. So what day are we on here? So Wednesday. So we've got CPI, PPI, RPI, CPI, PPI output, etc. Okay, let's keep going. We've got USD mortgage, so nothing really amazing. We've got Fed chair speaking, but I doubt it's going to cause much of an influence. And then Thursday, anything? Yeah, there we go. Thursday, rate hike. So that's when we're going to have the decision on the interest rate at Thursday at 12 p.m. UK time, and so we should expect it to go up. Simple as that. Now, if they were to increase it by 0.5%, I expect a real good rally on the pound. 0.25, I believe it's already priced in, but it depends on the inflation rate, inflation data where we get on Wednesday. If the inflation data is high, I expect the pump to continue because it'll put more pressure on the Bank of England to increase rates, obviously on Thursday, but then also next month as well, and perhaps even a higher interest rate increase. Whether if they increase by 0.5, then expect a massive pump. If they hold and do not increase, then expect a decrease in the pound level. And in USD, we really don't have any data this week, so I think we will carry on as it is. So perhaps weakness, etc., on the pound, on the dollar itself, and for the pound to continue pumping. So just quickly, just to give you a recap. So we open up our retracements, so high time frames, and so if we carry on as pumping as expected, we should perhaps Tuesday, Wednesday. We will then Tuesday is when we have Wednesday is when we have the inflation data, and then Thursday when we have the pump levels with the interest rate decision. So potentially we could easily hit 1.30 by then. And if we get any weakness before that, expect a retracement. Right. And final thing about what we're going to do for tomorrow. So we're going to wait. This is my plan anyway. Wait to see what Tokyo does overnight. And once Tokyo finishes its business, see what happens when London opens. At the moment, as you can see, Tokyo hasn't done much, and I don't expect it to do much, to be honest. It might do it a bit later on in just before London opens. And then if we get a bit of retracement, by all means, remember we've got the long that we're going to do, because potentially we could just retest this weekly level and go back up. But if we start making our headway back down and start losing support, start losing this daily, I expect us to go all the way back down. So that's my trading plan. Let me know what you guys think, and then we shall take it from there. And I look forward to your feedback. Bye guys, all the best. I shall speak to you later. Goodbye.